Hello, my name is Gabriel, and in this episode, we will generate the data and the scripts needed in order to make sure that our application works fine. We'll be switching to Visual Studio Code, and here in the same extension as we used last time called Cline, I will create a new task. We want to cover two things. We want to cover special characters for fuzzy retrieval, so retriever when you type the name, but maybe you don't have that special character on your keyboard. And we want to make sure that we cover the fact that sometimes you can have two persons with the same name in your hotel simultaneously. So then we don't need 600, maybe we need 400 person names. So I want to generate 400 person names. They should be split into buckets of 50. Each bucket represents an alphabet. And then we want to save this list in a new folder called generator, because there we will keep all the scripts related to data generation. I will use the plan functionality first because I'm curious if the LLM has any questions towards me. My prompt was not clear enough, as we can see. It thinks about these buckets as letters. This is not what we want. This is what we want. Perfect. By using this approach, we make sure that we will encounter the situation in which a partner or an integrator supports special characters and they will be exported to us. Also, we will see what happens if we apply encoding in the front-end part of the website, and then in backend, if we apply different encodings, it is very likely that we are unable to retrieve them. Probably you are wondering how we can create a user interface in which we can type these special characters, although we don't have them on the keyboard. One of the answers would be to create a functionality where you can scan the ID card or passport of a person. One way of solving these kind of problems when it comes to lists and enumerations is to be very specific about what needs to be solved. For example, there we go. By being this specific, it actually makes difficult tasks which would result in endless loops quite easy to solve. Good. We have 400 generated names in 8 specific languages. Next task, it is to generate room names. We need 200 room names. We should try to make sure that you should have letters, numbers, a space, another word, because if we imagine a hotel being an U-shape, 3 bodies, it can easily be the case that the rooms in body number 1 are 0, 1, space, and then the body number. So we want to take this into consideration. Again, we will be using the plan mode because we want to see some examples before we let it run. Yes, this is what we want. Oh, quite a lot of questions. So let's go one by one. How many rooms per floor per week? Should the floor digit be padded? Should the room number starts from floor 1, ground floor skipped? It would be interesting with 0. Because there in the basement, there are storage units that might be numbered as well. 205 rooms. Okay, it's correct. It's over 200. We're happy. In order to make our life easier in the future, let's consider that staff assignment goes to the east wing because it has the least number of rooms. On-site only goes to the center, to the north wing, because it has more rooms. And in the western wing, we can host anything. However, in the last episode, we uncovered the fact that we would like on room level to have the hour at which the room is available for booking. And now we should implement this. In the wing for staff assignment, we want to start at 00 because for features like electricity measurement, water measurement, etc., we want to count the whole day. In the wing for on-site and any, we want to start the check-in at 15:00 and we want to set the checkout at 9. So for staff assignment, checkout and check-in is at 0, 0. They overlap. For all the others that are not special, check-in can start at 15 and checkout has to be done at 9. But the override, it is applied when the room is created or when the room type will be changed. And now our last step, create reservations with the guest names that we have generated previously. Now this prompt will be a little bit more complicated because we have the cases from yesterday. The easiest would be to have two scripts. First script inserts everything in a valid way, and the second script changes the arrival and departure date of the reservation such that it will cover our cases, like so. Tomorrow we can run only the second script. We will already have all the rooms. We will already have all the reservations. We just shift the reservations, or we will shift everything in a database one day forward. No. Like this, when we will write more test cases for the actual business logic, we always can reference the same names. And when we want to test the application as a whole in an end-to-end environment, we can consider the generation which we did today to be the seed of our database. So everything will be somewhat static, but also dynamic based on the day and super reusable. We can actually see that we do have reservations. So this has 3 guests, this has 1, this has 6 guests. So we are already good. Just by a small glimpse, we are good. We are happy with it. Later, in order to make our life easier, we will have to make a display page of this information. That will be our debug page. Now there can be a conversation to be had. If we develop a debug page, aren't we actually wasting time from developing the actual functionality? It is wasted time. However, that's why we have LLMs to help us with this wasted time, because at the end, we want to create a product in which it is super easy to generate data and manipulate data to make sure that you cover all your business cases and you deliver something of quality. Power of using an LLM. This LLM right now writes our code, but in the next few episodes, we will migrate and we will integrate this LLM and we will give it access to some of the tools already created by us to be able to retrieve reservations, to display reservations in creative ways, and we will let the final user decide what the front end should look like. Thank you very much. In the next episode, we will create the other 2 scripts that manipulate the dates to make sure that we always have up-to-date data. And from there on, we are kind of done with the backend part. We will play with LLMs and see which one we can use, which one is fast enough to serve 8 users with the load that we have created, and which one actually, besides being fast, also follows the instructions the best. We will have to create a validator for these LLMs. Then we can play with different models. This is the optimization part. So when we get there, we will see how much will it actually cost to run a system like this. So thank you very much and see you in the next one.